Welcome to Raw Element. This is Ray, and I have received a lot of questions about my Hobo Weeks dupe, and so I thought I would share a comparison of what I found. I'm super excited about this. The actual Hobo Weeks is this one, and if you're new here, I'm not a huge fan of Hobo Weeks just because of the paper. It doesn't take two erasable frictions, erasable pens, markers, which I use a lot in art and also in planning. It also doesn't do well with collage and things like that. Once you put a sticker down, it's almost impossible to get it off without ripping. And so if you're just straight out planning with emoji pen or something like that, that's fine. But if you're doing any type of layering with stickers or something, a lot of heavy collaging, then I would not recommend this at all. So I have been slowly converting this into an art journal, and I haven't gotten very far because partway through this, once I started working on it, I came across these on Amazon, and there's actually a third color as well. It's a lime green. These are $5. I was completely blown away. I had no idea if I was going to like them or not. I just took a chance on getting both of these because I like the colors, honestly, and the pattern. So, and it was the same size. I saw the dimensions and realized it was the same size as this. And, this was pretty pricey. I was pretty upset that I spent the money that I did, and then didn't really, that's on me. I didn't read the reviews about the paper. I didn't know the quality of the paper, and I just heard that everybody was really loving it, and I saw everybody else using it, and kind of fell victim to that. So I'm not happy that I spent the money on this, but I am going to finish it once I get done with these two. They are grid paper, and the beauty of these is this paper is thick like a bullet journal grid paper would be. So as soon as I felt it, I knew exactly what to expect from this kind of paper. And so I recently did a flip of this one and my progress so far. So I'll kind of take you through a little bit of this, but I'm also going to show you how I did a painting in it, so you can see how well it takes to inks and that kind of thing. I get a lot of questions about my process of like how I collage and paint and where to begin, and what supplies I recommend and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit different than my other journal with me's. Usually I just put those to music so that you can just zen out and watch me creating whatever. But this one I'm actually going to do a voiceover and talk you through my process as best as I can, and kind of go from there. So the one that we're going to do is this one, and it's kind of difficult to explain my process because it's intuitive journaling. Anytime I do anything artistic, it's always intuitive. It's not planned. It's just wherever a product takes me, whatever sticker I come across, whatever magazine inspires me. If I see a magazine page, or sometimes it's a commercial, it could be anything that inspires me, but, and then I kind of tie that into what I'm doing at the moment. So, or, like if I want to test out a product, I'll use that be my guide or my starting point, and then incorporate that into a product just to try it out. So that's kind of what I was doing with this spread. Really, that's how all of these ended up coming about. Honestly, was I knew I wanted a journal that was kind of like, as I say here in the beginning, a queen's diary, kind of like a manifestation journal. I knew that I wanted all of these spreads to represent kind of my journey in life. And, but other than that, I really didn't have a plan for, how that was going to look. So none of this was done in order. There are some blank pages throughout here just because of that. And so this first one, I put together this foreword that was actually something written by Taylor Swift, and I was really inspired by what she was saying about how you go through life, and things happen, and essentially like your ability to move forward, and just that's kind of what the vibe was that I was going for with this journal. So that's why I picked that for the front. And so forward is not only like the forward of the book, but forward as in kind of the theme word for the process of my journey and pushing forward in this. So I've got some spreads where I was testing out markers, or I was testing out new sticker kits. This is the Majestics kit. I did a digital collage with this and then put it in here with some hollow tape from Hobby Lobby, which I absolutely love. It comes on a roll like this, and so I've just put a label on here so I remember what it is. It was $1.99, and I use this a lot, either to frame pages like this or to put it along the edge, and sometimes in the background or over top of images. It's just such a cool iridescent. They have tons of these. They have like black and white checks, cheetah print, I mean, you name it. And these are so inexpensive, and this lasts forever. So I highly recommend checking out the party section for those tapes. This one, I have a journal with me showing how I made these 2 pages, and this was, again, playing around with my Majestics kit and just some dealing with things that were going on at the time, and how I was proud of how I handled the situation. So this was kind of a dedication to that. And as are a lot of these, a lot of these are like things that have happened in my life, either past or present. And so I'll just do like some quick journaling. I'm not really big into like full page journaling and writing a lot about negativity, because I don't like to be faced with that. So usually if there's something negative that went on in my life, then I interpret that into a positive journaling spread. That way I don't have to look at that. I can see how I turned a negative into a positive, and that's how I deal with it. So may not be what works for you, but it's what works for me. And there are some times where I do like journal about a certain situation, but if I don't want to see it, then I can hide it, paint over it, put it in an envelope, glue the envelope down or something, that way I'm just not faced with it, because I like to see the positive spreads as I flip through. So like this one was all about how growing up, when I had negative things happen in life, I always imagined a black unicorn coming, and me riding off into the sunset on a black unicorn. Don't ask me why. That's just what came to my mind. It wasn't a knight in shining armor. It was literally a black unicorn. And if you haven't seen my Eras journal, I will briefly show you that. That's how this came about. I have a full video on how I converted a Hobonichi cousin, Han, into my Eras journal, which basically is an archival journal that documents everything that shaped me as a person and who I am today. And so that's why I have like a black unicorn on the back. And so if you want to see more about how I made this and where I found this cover, the absolutely perfect clear cover, you can check out that video. I will link it at the end. So these pages, they do handle heavy collages, inks, painting, gelatos, watercolor, easy to put stickers down, remove them, put them in different places. I'm really happy about how these pages took to so many different mediums, and even like some alcohol inks It took really well too. Like this is alcohol ink spray here in the background, just distress spray. That I was testing out, and it's called Lost Shadow. And so that was actually what dictated what this spread was going to be about, because when I saw the term Lost Shadow, I immediately thought of the Lost Boys movie, and there was one of the favorite songs in there was Lost in the Shadows, and so I documented about that. And this was kind of like my play on a Ferris wheel the night that that song was playing in the movie. And about, you know, like I kind of did a play on how this movie influenced me, like a lesson I learned early on. This movie was really big when I was growing up, so I kind of did an adage to that, kind of like the lesson that I learned at a young age about how you should go easy on yourself. You are different and you have a right to be here. So I love takeaways from movies. You know, I try to always like apply something that I've learned, you know, or document what I've learned in a movie, or just in life in general, you know. So, oh, and I will say, speaking of, so this spread back here, I forgot to mention that this was spawned by me coming across Pretty Woman, rewatched that, and happened to randomly have scraps on my desk actually from this. It was from Harper's Bazaar, and I thought that was pretty ironic. That's what I mean about intuitive journaling, is that, you know, you kind of go with whatever's laying around and it sort of just works itself out. Like there's no other way to explain it. So I had just seen this movie, I had this scrap, and I remember like at the end, you know, when, you know, she's talking about her knight in shining armor, and that's what I wrote about, is that, you know, I didn't have that growing up. That wasn't my answer to escaping, or, you know, the perfect life or whatever. So yeah, I forgot to mention that. But so again, like these pages take really well to heavy collage. This was just some random collage that I did for my birthday month. It wasn't like a plan with me or anything like that. And then eventually I'll go back in and do something else on these 2 pages, just to fill it in. But I'm okay with leaving it the way it is for now, and then, you know, getting back to it. I like to do like random pages of just not really a bullet list, but, you know, it's things that I want to focus on, or that I'm focusing on this year. And then on the flip page, I did items that I want to focus on after I move. And I love this whole like play on kind of vintage versus modern and pop, urban. You know, I do like a lot of urban, minimal, you know, moody spreads, but you know, that are like black and white or natural, you know, like nudes and stuff like that. But I also like some spreads that are, you know, pops of color. So this journal is kind of like, you know, a random, you know, it's not like all one. I didn't set out to have it be like all color or all minimal or whatever. I just went with the flow and did whatever came to me at the time. So I really love how that's come all together. And so, you know, I've got pops of like punk in here, urban, Disney, you name it. I'm kind of all over. And then, you know, go into vintage, you know, like I said. So this one, I was playing with makeup and some transfers. You can see me create this in another video on my channel. Then I have a blank page, since, you know, I didn't do these in order. This one is a spread that with a perfume sample, and I try to leave them somewhat closed, that way it lasts longer and my journal smells amazing. I usually have it like sitting up like this on a phone stand, and you know, that way it has like a motivational spread, you know, showing at me. So this one is what spawned my angelic kit, and absolutely love this, how it came out. I have like a page from Midsummer Night's Dream in here, and I found this image that was absolutely perfect, because I was singing a song to myself and came across this image. And again, it's just like one of those things where, you know, like if something like that happens, you know, where I'm thinking of something and then I come across something else that represents that, I have to put it on a page right away, or, you know, the moment's gone, I've lost it. And it's also good to just get it out of my head. That way I can move on. But you also don't know where that's going to take you. And so, like, I always wanted to do an angelic kit, but I didn't know when and how that was going to come about. And I don't force my sticker kits to happen. I let them kind of naturally flow. And, you know, because my kits are like representative of my journey. And if I were to try and say, okay, today I'm going to do an angelic kit, it just wouldn't be natural. You know, it'd be very forced. It would be the process would be very hard for me to do. You know, the quotes and all those things, you know, they wouldn't be like, you know, it would require a lot more work. It would feel like work. And my stickers, I like to have it feel organic and like it's part of my art. So this next page is where I was really trying to play with more heavy collage and paint, and using more permanent markers, like Sharpie permanent markers and things like that, different types of pens. Again, this is like just my play zone, you know, of testing different things, and watercolor and stuff like that, just to see if it would hold up to that, if it would bleed through. I've got some Prismacolors in here, and as you can tell, like nothing came through. Like I am amazed at the quality of this paper. Like it's so awesome. And you know, like I was kind of afraid of doing this kind of permanent marker on the back of this page, because I didn't want to ruin the effect of this page, like being vintage and like vintage modern, whatever. But you know, I didn't want to have it bleed through. But so I did the wings on this side and then realized it didn't go through. So I was super excited about that. That you can't even tell, you can't even see that other page under there. So and then I came across this in a journal, so I put that in there. That is, again, like it wasn't intentional, but if you do intuitive journaling where you're just like randomly grabbing stuff, it ends up becoming intentional at the end. Like it looks like you meant to do what you did. And that's what I love about that. You know, that's what I love about not forcing that process. And it's really therapeutic too. Like huge advocate on art journaling. So, or art therapy. So, so this was like, you know, me reminiscing on the old days when I used to do a lot of fairy festivals and stuff like that. And, you know, it was just a great time in my life. And I learned so much about myself and about, you know, my art and things like that. And so, you know, and it really connected me to nature, which is why this is even more perfect, you know, because the earth connects you. Like I couldn't have found a better page to come across for this. So that's where I've kind of left off. And then I was playing with some like more different styles, different weights of ink pens and things like that, you know, just to see, you know, how they held up and how they blended and stuff like that. So this one, you know, again, work in progress, may or may not get to it, but I'm like over halfway done with this one though. I'm super excited about that. Like I have so much more love for this being $5. Like this is an amazing size too, because it's not overwhelming like an A5 size, you know, like where you have like this giant, you know, page to fill. Like this is A5. Essentially, it's it's like half, maybe a little over half, the size of A5, and not quite as tall. So I'm absolutely loving this portable size, and it fits really well in my B6 cover as well. So if you've been on my Instagram, then you've probably seen photos of this for that. So I'm excited to see where this takes me and what leads to this one. You know, since this one is the Queen's Diary and my manifest stuff, I'm very curious to find out like what happens with this one. You know, what will unfold with this one. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of walkthrough on some of my favorite spreads and why they or how they came to be. And I will do a separate video on taking you through the process, answering a lot of your questions about my art process on my Queen art spread on this one, and my intuitive journaling spread for painting and whatnot. So feel free to ask any questions, you know, if you're just starting out and you have more questions about this process, or, you know, something that I've used on these pages, and I'll be happy to let you know more about that. All right, see you in the next one.